In this lesson, we're going to look at encoding the video. This is where we make all of our compression settings, as well as tidy up the video to suit our Flash movie. For those of you familiar with video editing and compression, this will all be pretty much straightforward. If you're not, follow along and I'll show you everything you'll need to get started. First off, Flash includes a selection of preset encoding profiles, and these are very straightforward. You can choose from a few different quality settings with corresponding bit rates in kilobits per second. This is the data rate that the viewer's internet connection will have to sustain to stream this video in real time. Over at the right, we have a preview window with a slider and some cropping markers. Here you can cut out the beginning and/or the end of your video. If you're using Flash Basic 8, this is about all you're going to see. Flash Professional 8, however, gives us advanced settings. Hit the button here and we can play with a whole bunch of custom settings. First off, we have the encoding settings themselves, and the first choice is the codec, which stands for compressor-decompressor. The video is compressed for delivery and then decompressed on the viewer's computer. By default, Flash will select the ON2 VP6 codec. This is a new codec for Flash 8, and it really does an awesome job making file sizes smaller while still retaining good visual quality. If you like, though, you can switch to the older Sorensen Spark codec. This choice is really going to be up to you, as encoding video is similar to compressing bitmaps. It's all going to depend on your source video material. You'll need to spend some time experimenting here. For most work, though, I'll go with the VP6. Here is also where you can enable encoding for any alpha channel or transparency in your video. This is a great new feature, letting us composite, say, a shot of a person walking along in a cartoon world. Lots of fun. Next is frame rate. Default is same as source, and this is highly recommended. But if you're very experienced with video production, you might feel comfortable modifying this. One note though, if you're embedding video in your Flash, the frame rate of the video must be the same as your Flash frame rate. So in that case, you might need to modify things. Keyframes, in the case of video, are frames that contain the complete picture. The frames in between will only contain the parts that have changed. This particularly affects seeking, which is when the viewer drags the playback slider to find a certain point in the video. The default setting is every 2 seconds, which is fine for most applications. But you can change this to a specific number of frames. Just be aware that the file size could increase if you shorten the keyframe interval. Over here on the right, we get a quality setting. We have a few presets and custom, which lets us decide for ourselves what we want the maximum data rate to be. Next, we can resize the video. Set a width and height in either pixels or percent of the original, and decide whether or not we want to keep the original aspect ratio. And finally, if your video file has an audio track, we can play with the compression on this as well. Audio codec and data rate. And that's it for part 1 of encoding video. Let's move on to part 2.